Hi there guys, it's Martyn here, and welcome back to another episode of the Sunday Catch-Up, episode 35. We've hit our 35 mark. Yay! Of course, before we get into your questions, we will have the video recap. So on Monday we had an instalment of the DVD haul, which took a look at Darkest Hour, which was a film from 2017. With the DVD haul, I am sort of doing it incrementally. I'm not going to say it's going to be every Monday, but if I've got something to review and I have the time to make it, I'll put it on for Mondays. Then on Tuesday we had the latest instalment of the Now review, which was Now That's What I Call Running, part 1 in a 3-part series, because we've got to look at all the other Running albums, and as you guys voted in the poll graciously, that will be Now Running part 2 next week. On Wednesday we had the latest instalment of Video Scaries, episode 12, and we took a look at Protect and Survive, which is a series of nuclear war advertisements, if you like, from the 1970s. Very odd by today's standards, but please do check that out. It's the longest Video Scaries ever at the minute, at a cool 30 minutes length. And on Friday we had the latest instalment of the IDENT review, which took a look at idents from the Horror Channel from 2013 and 2017. A very interesting channel, great programming, but idents are a bit all over the place, so please do check that out. And of course now we have the Sunday Catch-Up. Before I get into your questions, a disclaimer, I'm filming this on Thursday. So if anyone watches this and they know they've asked a question after Thursday, I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to do it. But now we must get into your questions. So to kick things off, we have a few from Quintessential British Gamer. One being, did you know there was a Watership Down series that ran from 1999 to 2001? I actually didn't, you know. I only knew about the original movie from the 70s and the 2018 remake that was on the BBC at Christmas. So, no, I didn't know there was a TV show. His other question was, do you watch horror movies? If so, what's your favourite horror movie? Ooh, my favourite horror movie. I do quite like the Saw franchise, because I feel if you watch all 7, sort of quite one after the other, it's a nice story. It's a very clever story. You've also asked, what is my opinion on remakes of old films? I mean, well, I can't really stop them, but some of them are good, some of them are bad. Most of them are bad. Harvey Richards says, can you do a brief history on the elusive history of Thomas the Tank Engine? Why is he elusive, eh, Harvey? I thought he was quite well known, but yeah, Thomas is one I have considered. I mean, again, with a brief history, it's a question of time, it's doing the research, and also with a lot of the kids' TV shows I get requested for brief history, I am thinking maybe I'll make a sort of new series specifically for old kids' TV shows, but again, that's all in the pipeline. Nintendo, Sega, CBBC, ITV, Disney, Nick, CM Bernie 1998 says, would you like to have BBC 4 to have an online-only channel in the future? BBC 4, what, sort of follow the BBC 3 route? Not really, oddly. I kind of like BBC 4 being on the TV. It has such quirky programming, but again, I quite like that. BBC 3 kind of suits being online. I have gotten used to it, although I'd still prefer it to be an actual channel. And 2, which Saturday morning would you choose from these 4 options? SMTV Live, Dick and Dom in the Bungalow, Ministry of Mayhem, or TMI. Out of them, probably Dick and Dom in the Bungalow, because that's the one I watch the most, and come on, it's the one we all wanted to be on when we were kids. Anglophile HQ4 has 2 questions, one being, I noticed that you touched on UK original channels for the IDENT review. Have you ever thought about doing a US channel that broadcasted in the UK, and you've listed some examples? Yeah, I have thought about it. I found with US channels, it seems harder to gain like enough idents to review, and then it's also US idents that are interesting. I know that Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network ones are quite interesting, but again, it's a lot more difficult. So I will try and make inroads to do some US channels, because I know that's been a request on the whole, but I will do my best. And the second question was, have you ever thought about doing a show looking back at Saturday and Sunday morning blocks of the past? Not really. I'd never really considered it. Obviously, I watched some of them when I was a kid. Toonatic, Dick and Dom in the Bungalow, as we just said. Smile was one I liked. I'd feel maybe that would be something for a bit in the future. My knowledge of old Saturday and Sunday morning TV blocks is a bit limited, so admittedly I will have to do a lot of research, but I'm not ruling it out. Aidan Slater says, have you ever seen the 1980s children's TV series, The Raggy Dolls, which was originally broadcast on Yorkshire Television? Yes, I have seen The Raggy Dolls. Fun story. So one of my friends, when I was training like at a Saturday drama class that I did, we were talking about old shows. I mentioned I had a really old Brum VHS tape, and she mentioned she had The Raggy Dolls, so we swapped. So I have seen the Raggy Dolls. Very catchy theme song in the head, but yeah, it's cute, it's charming, you know. And 2, what are your favourite steam trains? Oh, I'm not really into trains as a whole. I mean, the one you listed, the Flying Scotsman, I have seen that. It's a very impressive train, but I'm not really like a train guy. Will's the King, will you do a history episode of Deal or No Deal in Countdown? Also, will you make a Discord server? For brief history, doing game shows is interesting because with Deal or No Deal or Countdown, like, yes, I'm sure the history of them would be interesting, but there's not that much to talk about. I think once you get into it, the show's remained, you know, virtually similar, few format changes. And as to a Discord server, I'm not familiar with Discord. Is that something you guys like, a Discord server? I mean, if it is, let me know in the comments and I'll maybe look into it. It's the Grass Monster 17 says, my question is, do you think Millionaire could improve any more? Well, I mean, I think we're at a good place now. You know, we've got a new lifeline, we've got a new host, we've got a new format system of setting your own safety limit. I don't think you need to make any more radical changes because I think as Millionaire sort of died off the first time, one thing that maybe didn't help was all the rapid format changes that kept happening. It almost made it seem a bit desperate. So no, I think it should be fine for now. I'm not sure about improvements, but maybe further down the line add something new. Hassanain Junaid says, do you like eating chicken burger? I guess, yes. And 2, have you seen Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children movie? No, I haven't. I haven't seen it. I saw the trailer, I had no interest in seeing it, just doesn't really seem like my cup of tea. Dragonman2455 asks, have you ever considered doing IDENT reviews for TV channels outside the UK? Yes, I sort of answered this earlier, didn't I? I mean, you weren't to know, of course, but I am always aiming to look at different channels, US channels, foreign channels, but again, it's a mix of the availability of content out there. There just seems to be more UK idents about, the interest of these outside UK idents, and also copyright. I've got to be very, very careful. Ninja Plays as one, did you like Jungle Run or Raven? I liked both, but I was more Raven. Raven was such a cool show with the whole sort of story intertwined in it and all the different challenges, and I really wanted to be on Raven. So yeah, if I had to pick, it's got to be Raven. Time Lord Master 108 has a few questions. Have you ever listened to any Doctor Who Big Finish or read Virgin's New Adventures novels? I haven't read any of the novels. I've listened to some Big Finish, only a few though. I've listened to the very first one, The Sirens of Time. I've listened to the 50th anniversary special, The Light at the End. I've listened to Jubilee, which is a really great 6th Doctor audio. I've listened to The Toy, which was a exclusive, I believe, from if you subscribe to Doctor Who A Complete History. It was sort of a Nissa standalone story. And I also have one up there, I can't see it, but it was free with Doctor Who magazine. It's a, I think it's a Companion Chronicles or a Lost Adventures. It's a Jamie story, I think, but yeah, there's that. 2, did you ever watch Bagpuss when you were a kid? If so, what did you think? I think I only ever saw one episode of Bagpuss on one of like the compilation tapes. It seemed charming, but it's not one I ever really watched. And 3, can you do any video scaries for creepy episodes of kids shows? I could, and I mean I have been tempted, but I just feel with that there's some great content out there already, like Phantom Strider, a great channel, he's done a video on top 6 creepy kids episodes. I know most of them I think were American, I could sort of do a UK spin, but again, I'm a small YouTuber, I'm not with a network, so it's just that case of copyright. And I mean, it's not just a case of being demonetized, it limits promotion of the video, and also if it gets removed completely, I'm at risk of getting a copyright strike, so I'd have to really plan that one out. Benny's Random, who is your favourite underrated artist? Ooh, underrated. I mean, I quite like the Pet Shop Boys from the 80s, was their heyday, they had some hits in the 90s as well. I wouldn't say they're underrated, I mean, they had a lot of success, but I think a lot of their other work that wasn't like in the charts I think is really good. Same with Tears for Fears, another 80s band. Just a lot of 80s bands, we know all the hits, but I think a lot of their other works are really good too. Dr. Floyd 03 has a few, one being favourite Star Wars film. It's what everyone likes, but it's got to be The Empire Strikes Back. And 2, favourite Muppet film. It's funny you asked that, I've recently just been watching the Muppet movies for the first time. I've now seen, obviously, Muppets Christmas Carol, I've seen the original Muppet movie, and I've seen the 2011 remake. So out of them, do you know what? I really like the 2011 remake. It had so much heart in it. It actually got me quite emotional towards the end. So probably that one. I've still got Muppets Most Wanted, The Great Muppet Caper, and all the others as well to watch. But yeah, probably the 2011 remake's my favourite so far. Paul Kelly, who is your 2 favourite Doctors from classic Doctor Who and new Doctor Who? From classic Who, it's got to be William Hartnell, the original, just so different. I know he was a bit cranky, cantankerous, but that's what I liked. And from new Who, Peter Capaldi. I think he's honestly the best actor we've had in the role of the Doctor, ever. So that's that. The original being, with Disney constantly remaking animated classics into live-action cash grabs, what animated film shouldn't get the live-action treatment? I would have said The Lion King, but you know, they're kind of doing that. I don't know what's been announced. I know Aladdin's coming. Ugh, couldn't care less. Dumbo looks interesting, I've got to admit. What shouldn't? Sorry. Let me think. Basil the Great Mouse Detective, a great little 80s Disney movie. Don't do that in live action. Oliver and Company, don't do that in live action. And I'll have to say Hercules, don't do in live action. Tarzan has been done in live action sort of by different companies, but that as well. And 2, what are your thoughts on the savagery and occasional BS the Doctor Who community is throwing out online at the moment? I think a lot of it's unwarranted. I get that some people don't like Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor or Series 11 as a whole, and that's fine, we can all have our opinions, but the people who shoot others down, that call them SJWs and all this sort of stuff, I think it's very unnecessary. You are allowed to broadcast that. There's a YouTube channel, I'm not calling him out, but Bowles Trek, I've seen a few of his videos. He really doesn't like Series 11, and you know, he puts forward some very strong opinions, and that's fine. That's more, I'm interested to hear them. I don't agree with them, but I'm not going to start, you know, throwing him hate or anything. I just think it's all unnecessary. We've all got our opinions. Let's discuss that in a very civilised manner. Chestnut Bloke says, remember when you did an IDENT review on Bravo? Well, could you do another spooky-based IDENT review, this time on the BBC Two Comedy Night IDENTs featuring Anne Robinson? Oh, right, I know the ones you mean. They're like the really, like, weirdly animated ones of her, aren't they? Yeah, I could. It'd be a short episode, but maybe it's like a bonus IDENT review. Like, if it was 2 in 1 week, maybe I could do that. Real Oliver 9912 says, will you upload the BBC HD IDENT review on another platform? I have thought about it, but I mean, I might do Dailymotion. Vimeo just seems a bit crap because I was uploading something else for work purposes on there, but you're only allowed 500 megabytes per week, and an IDENT review of that size ain't gonna fit on there. Bailey the Hoovian says, are you doing an unboxing of the Macro Terror? I will be when it comes out in March, I think it is. And 2, are you going to do a special week where you take a break from your normal programmes and do one-off videos for a week instead? I have thought of that idea. I have thought of taking a week out to work on, say, a brief history video or a bigger video, so it might happen, but I'll let you guys know if it does. Scramble59 says, who's your favourite Disney villain? Mine's Tamatoa. I can see that, isn't that him in the profile picture? My favourite Disney villain? I've always liked Hades from Hercules, portrayed by James Woods, he's just so funny. I know it's Pixar, but I do quite like Hopper as well from A Bug's Life. And 2, if you were Sakurai, which video game character would you put into Smash and why? I've got 3, and they're probably the obvious ones, but I'd put in Rayman, I'd put in Crash Bandicoot, and I'd put in Spyro. Because if Smash Brothers is becoming this thing where it's not just Nintendo characters, it's sort of video game icons, you gotta have those 3 in there. I don't think I need to explain why that much. They're iconic, their movesets I think could be pretty simple to sort out, and it'd just be a really fun game with them. Darren Brown asks, can you do something every 3 months, like an ITV Creates IDENT review? Yes, the new ITV IDENTs, I don't know, they're still doing them like new set every week? If so, I might do them quarterly. I'll keep tabs with them and I'll keep you posted. But that is all your questions for this week on the Sunday Catch-Up. Thank you very much for asking. As always, please leave your comments down below and they will be answered in the following week's Sunday Catch-Up. But until then, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to support the channel. It's very much appreciated. We're speeding along, hopefully, towards 3.3 thousand subscribers, which would be incredible. Just like all the videos that I put out, give them a share, give them a watch, subscribe with the bell on, that way you can know when videos are coming. Also, you can please donate to my Patreon if you like. I'll leave a link in the description. I hope you guys have a good week, and until the next one, I will see you guys next time.